Russ is doing a class later today on dot loop if anybody needs to refresh their memories. I think everyone in here is not brand new. You've been working with April and dot loop for a long time. So, but be there if you want to refresh yourself and just actually take care of your files. If you're not using, please use the transaction coordinators. They really do help you save time and be more productive in the time that you need to be with your clients, okay? And then base camp tomorrow is at 11 a.m. and that is with Mike Hancock and Maureen Lang, how to have better conversations, okay? You guys, it's a conversation strategies workshop, knowing what to say, how to say it all the time and build rapport. So don't miss it. Be here tomorrow at 11 a.m. and get some great tips. Let's share a couple of gratitudes or wins. Okay, not all at once. This?
Well, I made it.
You made it. I'm grateful for you. Love it. And you come and sit in the front row. See, I love that.
I have to, Julie. I have to.
You have
Everybody's too big for me to be around.
Good. Well, it's great. You know, we won't pick on George. He sits in the back all the time, but that's okay. He's just watching.
He's got the cheap seats.
That's why he does that.
He couldn't afford what you bought this morning.
Yeah, I know. Ashlyn?
I'm grateful for one of the lenders I work with. So I had a really weird transaction where the city had a property zoned a specific way and the county had it zoned another way.
Wow.
And so, and it was out in Ogden. And Ogden is very old school.
Of course.
Like, there was literally a book that he had to go out and like copy paper, like stuff out of a like physical book. Nothing was online. But we got it closed, and I was amazed by that because he was like, I have to go to a library. And I was like, excuse me, what? You have to go to a library? And he's like, yeah, I have to go to a library and copy things out of a book, and no one there will do it. But we got it done. We got it closed.
Great. Isn't it nice that you can rely on people in your team to do the little things? Yes. Great job. I love that. And congratulations. Thank you. On the closing. Okay. Anyone else real quick? Aubrey's smiling. It's like he wants to share something, but he's holding back.
He's always
smiling.
Okay.
I'm grateful. I can still stay here. I was grateful for just people who were kind.
Yeah.
I had a couple run-ins yesterday. It kind of can get under your skin a little bit before like crazy, whatever.
Yeah.
I kind of brush it off like sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it kind of gets to me. But right after that, I wanted to stop like knocking doors and then. After that, somebody said, "Hey, I set up a point pretty easy. Come back tomorrow. Sit down and talk about that."
Yeah.
Actually, we're looking for an agent to sell our house. So.
Oh wow.
Well, yeah, it was like the easiest point ever. I'm like,
Oh.
it was just, I don't know. It was like I went from like somebody saying, basically, you should be soliciting to come back.
Yeah.
It had a no soliciting. I don't really knock soliciting, no soliciting towards, but I just wanted to do it.
You know, when you knock on someone's door and they say no soliciting, that's great. I'm not selling you anything.
Yeah.
You know, and you start talking to them. That's funny.
Yeah.
Great job. That's awesome. Okay. Oh, Brenda Lee.
I am grateful for John's message. Be more curious and less judgmental. I think oftentimes we jump to the chase and make judgments, and I think we need to give people more grace.
Yeah. 100%.
So that's where I live.
100%.
Right now.
Every day, every moment, if you can, try. I love that. Thank you for sharing. I'll share a gratitude real quick. We had the Festival of Lights from India yesterday. It was a holiday. It's like a New Year's for India. And, you know, with all the chaos of life, how you spend moments with your family and friends and being kind, it's really great. So we donated some stuff over the weekend and people were very grateful. We helped out at the church and that was really grateful. And I spent time with family. You know, there's a quote that always says, time will fly anyways. What you make most of the moments is what counts. And so that's just so true. Time is going to pass anyways. So making the best of it is up to you. I love that. Hey, that's all.
That's it,
John,
huh?
we're ready for you.
All right. Okay, well, let's get started. Good morning,
Good morning.
Well, I'm excited about this conversation. So let me ask you, let's just start with this, a question. What is a recession? Well, don't all answer at once. It's like, you said, I wasn't an econ major. What did you say, Luz?
Something that go backwards.
Okay, I like that. Something that goes backwards. Yeah, you're on the right track. It's close to the word I'm looking for.
General slowdown of the economy.
Okay, it's a slowdown. Okay.
Reset.
It's a reset. Okay, it is an opportunity for that, isn't it? Yeah. A recession, if you think about it, it's pretty simple. It's a contraction, right? Think about that. It's a contraction to recession. It's kind of like your hairline and my hairline. They're receding, right? Yeah.
Mine's a little better than yours.
Well, fair enough. Fair enough. Well, you get the hair, I get the basketball. Game. Yeah. But a recession is a contraction, right? It's a reduction in. And if you think about it, what ultimately causes that? Is the overall economy in a recession? Would the Fed say that the overall economy is in a recession? The answer is what?
Yes.
No, it is not, actually. It is not. Real estate, would we say real estate is in a recession? It is clearly in a recession because our sales down overall. Are sales down? Hello?
Yes.
They are in the market. They're down. They're down substantially, 40, 50% across the nation. So real estate is in a recession. Well, what really is a recession? I want you to write this down. A recession is a crisis in confidence. It's a crisis in confidence. And are we experiencing in real estate a crisis in confidence? Yeah, think about it. When the stock market crashes, why does the stock market crash? If today Tesla fell by 50%, so if it's, I don't know what it's trading at, 250, if it's trading yesterday at 250 and today it closes at 125, is Tesla really less worth in terms of its plants, facilities, and all of its assets, 50% less?
No.
It really isn't. Not technically it isn't, but because there's a crisis in what? In confidence. Bless you, George. Nothing to sneeze at. The reason that you'll see companies drop in value by half or 10% or 20% in a day is because there's a crisis in what? Confidence in the value of the company. A recession is nothing more than a crisis in confidence. So could we agree that confidence is important?
Yes.
Okay. So when there's a lack of confidence, you have a tendency to enter into a what? A recession. Now, there are a lot of real estate agents who are experiencing what right now in real estate? Right. But are all real estate agents experiencing recession in real estate? The answer is no. There are agents in our company right now who are selling more real estate this year or making more money this year than they ever have. That's a great question. Lou's asked what? Say it so everyone can hear.
How is that?
How is that? I believe that the cornerstone to that, Luz, to answer your question, is confidence. If you don't want to participate in the recession, then don't do what causes what? Recessions. You can say, well, John, but I can't help it that the market's in a recession. Well, the market's in a recession, Brenda Lee, but here's the thing. I talked about this 3 weeks ago. I know the numbers are different today, and in fact, they're improved. But 3 weeks ago in the state of Utah, there were about 27,000 homes that had actually what? Sold. 27,000, which means if you do the math, how many sides are there on each transaction? Two sides each transaction. So you do the math. 2 times 27 is how many transactions? 54,000 opportunities to close a transaction in the state of Utah. So you can say, well, real estate is in a recession, so therefore I'm just going to simply have to wait until what? Until it changes. Well, but you don't know when that's going to be, do you? Do you?
No.
You really don't, do you?
We don't know if it's going to change.
But we do know it is going to change, right? But here's the thing, you don't have to participate in the what? In the recession. You get the opportunity to not participate in that. But in order to do that, you have to have what? The operative word of the day is what? Confidence. So the question is, well, then how do you have confidence? How can you have confidence when interest rates went from 3%? Actually, there was a time where rates were sub 2. I know some people that got just under 2%. That's free money. And now today it's what, Bob? Where are you, Bob? I saw Bob.
Right here.
He's right there. He's right in the center. What are rates at?
They're in the high sevens.
In the
right
high
now.
sevens.
Have dipped into the eights.
Yeah. Dramatically changed. Dramatically. And yet, if you have confidence, regardless of what the market's doing, you can get great results. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
A few of you would. And I would suspect that those are the people who are doing relatively well in the market. So you don't have to participate in the recession. It isn't written anywhere that you have to participate in the recession that real estate is going through. But you do have to pay attention to the rules of what you have to do to maintain what? What's the word of the day? Confidence. So the question is, well, how do you maintain confidence? Number one, I want you to write this down. Have clarity. Be clear. Have clarity. Clarity it's a beautiful word because it allows for great things to happen. Well, John, when you say clarity, what do you mean? I want you to write down these three words. Clarity. Clarity of purpose. Clarity of purpose. Clarity of process. And clarity of price. Price. Yep, the cost. If you're clear about your purpose, what you're trying to accomplish, if you're clear about the process to achieve that, so in other words, what do I want? What do I want? What do I have to do? And then, am I willing to pay the price? See, if you come up to those answers, answering those questions, really important questions, what do I want? What do I have to do to get it? And am I willing to pay the price? If you're clear about that, you're absolutely clear. The good book says this, the people without a vision will what? They'll perish. Which implies then that you should have an idea as to what you want. What you want, what you're fighting for. See, the average person isn't really clear on what they're fighting for beyond just simple what? Existence, survival. Say it? Just paying my bills. Just getting what? I'm going to scrape by. I'm going to just get by. Just hold on until all of that changes. And then when that changes, then hopefully things will get what? It's like Jim Rohn said, don't wish things were easier, wish you were what? Well, can I help you on one of the ways you can immediately get better? Say yes. Yes. Be clear about what it is that you want. Jim Rohn talks about being the leaf in the wind, that when the wind blows, you go whatever direction what goes? The wind goes. As opposed to, say, the goose that's programmed to when the weather changes, they fly where for the winter? They have a very distinct purpose. They know that if they stay in the cold weather, they're probably not going to survive. So they go where we would all like to be during the winter is where? South, in the warmer weather. They have a clear purpose. The more clear you are about what it is that you're getting up for and fighting for every single day, and you're connected with that, the more likely it is that you'll be what? What's the word of the day? Confident. So the question I would ask for you, how many of you are really clear on what it is you're fighting for? And is it what you say you're fighting for is what Brenda Lee said, which was what word? Fighting for what? Just simple what? Survival. Is that really exciting? I'm excited. Man, I'm getting up today to just what? Survive. That seems to me like really anticlimactic. It seems to me like a mindset that would allow me to participate in the what? In the recession. Because none of that's within my control. I can't control that inventories are down. I can't control that interest rates are dramatically up. I can't control that consumer sentiment is way, way down. That buyers and sellers lack confidence. I want you to write this down. I can't give to others what I don't possess. Would you like your buyers and sellers to be more confident? Say yes.
Yes.
You think about this. If your buyers and sellers were absolutely confident in the process of buying and selling a home in today's marketplace, would we be in a recession in real estate? Let me ask it again. There's two of you got it. If the buyers and sellers were not lacking confidence, would we be in a recession in real estate?
No.
And the answer is no, we wouldn't be. So would you like your buyers and sellers to be more confident? I can tell you the way to do that is to make certain that you start with your what?
Confidence.
With your confidence. You don't have to participate in the recession in real estate. And the number one way to do that is to make certain, first of all, that you're confident. And the number one way to make certain that you're confident is to have clarity of purpose. Know why you're showing up every single day. And I don't just mean in this office, I mean to life. Why are you showing up? If you look at people of passion, people who accomplish a lot, that do amazing things, we look at them and go, man, the life that they live, I can tell you that those are people of absolute purpose. They know why they get up every single what? Day. Have clarity of purpose. Know what it is that you're fighting for. Very simply ask, do you know what you're trying to accomplish between now and the end of the year in real estate? Are you clear on the number of transactions you want to close? Do you know how many you're going to close? Do you know what it is that because the second word in terms of getting confidence, purpose, and then what did I say? Process. Do you know what it's going to take in order for that to happen? Have you enumerated that? I know that between now and the end of the year, I'm going to close an additional 3 transactions. Well, how would I do that? Are you clear on what the process is? See, it's one thing to say that I want to close 3 transactions by the end of the year, but do you actually know what you're supposed to do? Now, in most instances, Ashlyn, do we know what we're supposed to do? Say it out loud. You do, don't you? Say yes.
Yes.
You know what to do. It's not a question of whether you know what to do. It's a question of whether you're going to what? Well, if you're not clear about what it is that you want, then it's very likely that you're not going to do what you're supposed to what? What you're supposed to do. You see how they're interrelated? They go together. People of passion are really clear on what it is they're fighting for, so therefore they get clear on what it is that they have to do. And then the third word was what? Price. Because they're really clear on what it is that they want, they're connected to it, they're more willing to then therefore pay the what? The price. So I want you to take just a couple of minutes maximum here, probably more like 60 seconds. I want you to get clear, number one, on what it is that you want to accomplish between now and the end of the year in real estate. See, for most of agents right now in this market, in any market, year after year, this is the time of the year where they do what? What do they do?
Check out.
They check out. I'm asking you not to do that. This is a sort of market where if you won't check out, because agents have already what? Before the holidays, what have they already done? They've already checked out because we're in a what? And they're waiting for the market to do what? It's not going to. So I'm asking you to check in with what it is that you want. Get clear about what it is that you want between now and the end of the year. So just write down what it is that you want. And as you're thinking about that, I want you to also ask yourself then, well, what would I have to do in order to accomplish that? It's 1 transaction, 2 transactions, 3 transactions, 4, whatever it is. Write down the number. Then I want you to enumerate, I want you to outline what it is that you would have to do. And Mike, here's what I know. I know that you already know what it is that you're supposed to do. It's not a question of whether you know. My job is just to simply ask you to remind yourself, to get clear on that, because clarity is what? Power. If you're clear on your purpose and you're clear on process, when you wake up every single day, when you have absolute clarity of what you're trying to accomplish and what you're supposed to do, you're going to be more what? You're going to be more confident. Which means when you're more confident, then you're not practicing or participating in the what? In the recession. Remember, recession is a crisis in what? Confidence. You don't need to participate in that. It is not necessary. It's not written anywhere that you have to. How many have written down what it is that they want to accomplish between now and the end of the year? Raise your hand if you've done it. Okay, some of you are still writing. Okay. Some of them, Aubrey, are going to accomplish a lot, apparently. You're still writing. Now, what is it that you have to do? What would you have to do? Just somebody shout out what it is that you would have to do. Just what's one thing that you would have to do to close the number of transactions, earn the amount of income that you would have to earn, that you want to earn between now and the end of the year? Prospect. Now, hold that for a second, because I like that answer, and that is the right answer. But what did you say? You said work. You open to a little bit of coaching here? I said with clarity there is what? Power. When you say work, what does that mean? What does work mean? I don't know what that means. It could mean many things, right? For some agents, it could mean.
It means being in here. It means prospecting.
Okay.
It means following my schedule or what I have
Okay, now
defined.
that's what I'm looking for. An answer that's much more specific. The more clear we are on what it is that we want, and then specifically what we have to do, because we're not looking for just work. We're looking to actually what? Prospect. Well, what does prospecting look like? Am I gonna what? Am I gonna knock doors, or am I going to make calls, or am I gonna do what? Both of those. And then when am I going to what? At what time am I going to do it? And for how long? And who am I going to what? Who am I going to talk to? See, if you're clear about those things, when you get up in the morning, it's not a matter of, well, I don't know what I'm going to do, and I guess I'm just going to have to wait and hope that somebody reaches out to me. It's like, no, I have clarity of purpose. I know what I'm doing. Between now and the end of the year, I'm going to close on 3 transactions. And I know that I need to prospect for at least 3 hours every day. And I'm going to start at 9 o'clock. I'm going to go until noon. And I know that I'm going to focus on FSBOs and expireds, or my SOI, or just listed, just sold, or non-owner occupied. I don't care what it is, as long as you have what? It's clarity of the process. Because you have clarity of purpose and you have clarity of process, it's more likely you're going to wake up and feel what? Einstein was asked this question: why are we on this planet? Why do human beings exist? April, good morning.
Good morning.
He was asked that question. You know what his answer was? It was really simple.
Serve others.
Serve others. To serve others. See, if you're clear about what it is that you want, what it is that you have to do, the process, right? And the price that you have to pay, are you going to be more confident? Think about that. Don't let me lead you to that answer. I want you to imagine that you're really clear. I hope you are at this point, but I want you to imagine you're really clear about what it is that you want, what the process is. And Les Brown says this: how is none of your business? You could say to me, what's your name?
Matthew.
Matthew, you could say to me, how long have you been in the business? Just freshly started. Days? That's fresh, right? It's fair to say that you probably don't really understand the process, right? But you understand what prospecting means, right? Well, Les Brown would say, how is none of your business? As long as you know what you're supposed to do, stop worrying about, well, I don't know exactly how to do it. Les Brown would say, just simply get on the what? Get on the phones and put on the sneakers and start doing what? Knocking on the doors. How is none of your business? Get clear about what it is you're supposed to do and then just start going out and doing it. If you're clear about what it is you're trying to accomplish, what the process is, and what the price is, and answering the question, am I willing to pay it? And you have clarity. I want you to imagine that. You have clarity of those 3 things. What is happening to your confidence? Is it? Is it really? I believe that it does, but is it for you? Because see, you can talk about this intellectually, Adam. You can say, I get this. It makes sense to me on an intellectual level. But are you really getting it? Are you really taking the time to be clear about what it is that you really want? What you really, really, really want. Not in this setting where you say, okay, well, I got to participate, so I'm going to say this is what I want, but I don't know what I really want. I'm really not going to spend the time to do it, because I really just think that we need to wait until the market changes, because it'll just be easier if I wait until interest rates go down.
Hey, John,
Yes.
you brought up the word confidence. What do you think about switching the word self-confidence with self-worth?
I love that.
I'm actually trying to sort through that conversation,
Mm-hmm.
but to me, somehow self-worth sounds a whole lot better than self-confidence.
I love it. It goes back to what Einstein said. The purpose for us being here is to be basically of service, or of what? Value, of worth. And if we see ourselves as worthy of worthwhile and valuable, how do we feel about ourselves? Good, great, yeah. Confidence comes from clarity of purpose, process, and price. Those 3 things. I want you to write down the next thing. We've got another about 7 minutes here. Confidence is also built, anybody know? Besides George? Integrity. That was the answer. That's the next one I'm looking for. You've been in the church sermon often. You know the answer.
I was just listening to a presentation by a guy named Myron Goldman, and he said, "Have you ever considered that there's only one person on the planet that's heard every lie you've ever told?"
Right.
And that deeply impacts confidence.
So I want you to write this under integrity, because I hope you wrote that word down. I want you to write the word rapport down, because Mike, you are spot on. It's like you read my mind in terms of what we were going to talk about on this point. In real estate, if we're going to have a lot of business, we have to have a lot of what with people? Rapport. Well, the number one relationship that you're ever going to have in your life, setting aside your creator, in my opinion, is the relationship you have with whom? Yourself. Integrity. Let me just say this at this point. Your standards aren't what you say they are, they're rather what you what? Do. There isn't any one of you in here who doesn't understand that if you want to sell a lot of real estate, you have to talk to a lot of what? So if you're not doing that, then you're acting or living below the what? The standard that you know that you have to live by in order to sell real estate consistently at a high volume. Yes or yes? So if you know you're living below the standards that you say that you should live by or that you say that you live by, how do you feel about yourself? Yeah, what's your self-worth? Not so what? Not so good. So how many of you would like to have greater self-confidence? Say aye.
Aye.
Then examine what your standards are. Remember, your standards aren't what you say they are, they're rather what you do. So ask yourself this, well, I want to close, fill in the blank, X number of transactions between now and the end of the year. What would I have to do? Process. In other words, what would have to be my what? My standards. What standards would I have to live by between now and the end of the year to close on that number of transactions? And if you actually did that, if you showed up every single day to morning Ascent, to role play, you prospected every single day, Isaac, how would you feel about yourself? How would you feel about yourself despite the results that you got on a daily basis? Because sometimes if you show up and you do everything you're supposed to, do you get the results that you want? No, but over time, if you do the right thing consistently, what ends up happening? You win. Michael Jordan didn't win every game. He didn't make every basket. But what made him the greatest basketball player ever is that he was consistent. Regardless of the results, he leaned into the what? To the process, and he maintained his what? His standards. And because he maintained his standards, Michael Jordan was exceptionally what? He was exceptionally confident. And it was because he was exceptionally confident he got the results that he got. Whether he was sick, how many of you are Jazz fans and old enough to remember when he had the flu and he literally had to be carried off the court at one point, and he still, with his team, beat the Utah Jazz. Still think we were cheated. Years later, yeah, push it, Byron Russell. Integrity. Adherence to the standards that you know you would have to live by in order to get the results that you want. Make sense? Yes or yes?
Yes.
The next thing I want you to write, we've got two more things, we're gonna be quick. The next thing is gratitude. The number one antidote to a lack of confidence, or worse than that, fear, where most people live on a daily basis, the number one antidote to a lack of confidence or fear is to have what? Gratitude. What's another word for gratitude? It's the dominant thought, it's the dominant emotion that people experience. Love. It's dominant. What do you mean, John? I thought you said that most people live in fear. They do, but the dominant thought, the dominant emotion is love. Love will always defeat what? Fear. Always. The problem is we're not very well practiced at living in love. We have a tendency to live in what? Fear. How many of you would like to be more confident? Say aye. Aye. Then don't live in fear. Live in love. Acknowledge what it is you have to be grateful for. That is the reason that every morning in morning Ascent, we do the 10-10. Our goals and our what?
Gratitudes.
Our gratitudes. Get clear about what it is that we have to be grateful for. I woke up this morning. Quite frankly, I tell you, I didn't feel very confident. So guess what I immediately started to do? In the case of emergency, I broke what? I broke the glass. And I started to enumerate, Brenda Lee, the things in my life that I'm grateful for. The beautiful place that I live in. My apartment. Downtown.
That nice watch.
This nice watch, thank you. The nice car. My kids. My amazing, beautiful former wife. my dad, my brother, my sister who passed away 7 years ago, whose birthday it was yesterday. You could, I get it, thank you, but no, I'm grateful. I don't live in sadness. I woke up not being very confident, lacking confidence. I knew what was wrong. My mind was occupying space of fear as opposed to what? Love. If you want to be more confident, enumerate the reasons as to why you are grateful. And I know that sounds simple. The problem is we're not very well practiced at doing that. We're more practiced at living in what? Fear, and enumerating all the reasons why we should be what? Afraid. Does this make sense? Say yes or yes?
Yes.
Yes. And the last thing I want you to write down is this, contribution. Let me circle back to what you said, April. Contribution. You will be more confident if you wake up every single day and you stop focusing on who? You. You get up in the morning, every morning you look at yourself and you say, woe is me, I've got all these problems, I've got all these challenges, I'm afraid, the market's contracted, we're in a recession. All of these things that lead you to focus on you as opposed to the people you should be focused on. I want you to think about this. If you had a friend, or if any of you have children or grandchildren, right? If a building were on fire and you were across a 40-foot plank that separated these two buildings, building's on fire, and your child's with you, you and your child walked across that plank to get away from the fire, but your child left their teddy bear. How many of you are going to walk that 40-foot plank 100 feet into the air to get that teddy bear? How many of you are going to do that? See, I agree with you. I'm going to go to Walmart and buy another teddy bear, right? But if I don't have my child and I don't have their teddy bear and they're across that plank 40 feet away from me in the burning building, am I going to cross that plank to get that child? Yes. We will always be more confident and do things that we wouldn't otherwise do for ourselves in the service of others. So when you shift your focus from yourself to them, it makes you more what? Step aside, I what? I got this. I know people are saying that now is not the right time to buy and sell real estate. Let me share with you the reasons as to why that it is. Step aside, I got this. There's no reason, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, that you should lack confidence in this market. Because in this market, there is what? There's opportunity. Yes, inventories are down. Yes, interest rates are up. But are there reasons to buy real estate in today's market?
Yes.
I've been doing this for 30 years. I bought a home this year, and my interest rate is almost 8%. Thank you, Bob. He charged you 8%, and you're saying thank you? Yes, because now is the opportunity. Because when interest rates go back down to 6%, 5.5%, 5%, we're going to be back in a market where you have clients who want to buy a home, qualified to buy a home, and can't what? Why?
Because they don't have the $20,000 on top of the appraisal to buy one.
Exactly, because of competition, because the price of the home will be well beyond what they're willing to pay or can pay, and because there'll be 20, 30, 40 other people vying for the same home. Gang, there were those who were living in a recession when the market was screaming hot 2 years ago because of what was going on here. There will be those who will allow the market to dictate, this market to dictate that they will live in a recession until the market changes. And I'm here to say to you this morning, you do not have to do that. And it can change when? Right now. But you have to get clear about what it is that you want, the process that you have to engage in. And again, it's not about exactly what do I have to do. You know what you have to do. You have to talk to people. So just start doing that. Well, how do I do that? Do you know how to talk to people? You do. I know he does because he just responded to my question. Right? You know what to do. It's not a question of whether you know what to do. It's a question of whether you're going to what? You're going to do it. So are you going to do it? Are you going to do it?
Yes.
Are you going to participate in the recession? Or is the recession over for you? Turn to your neighbor and say, your recession is over. The good news is you get to decide that. And I think that's great news. Warren Buffett will tell you that most billionaires and millionaires are made when? During a recession. Now is your time. Now is the time, Bob. It is now. It's not when the market improves. It is now. So you get to decide whether you're going to participate in the recession or you're going to participate in a boom. Either way, ultimately, it's your decision. Fair enough? Okay, thoughts, observations, amens? Did you bring the 10 to pass around for donations this morning?
No,
You didn't? Okay.
I'll bring
Yes,
it
Brenda
tomorrow.
Lee.
I love your comment about contributions. When I was raising 2 little boys by myself and they would start feeling sorry for themselves, my immediate response was, you need to go do something for someone else.
Yeah.
Because when they were, oh, so sorry for me, and that has stuck with me.
Yeah.
Whenever I start feeling sorry for myself, I'm like, wait a minute, I go to my gratitudes and then do something.
Yeah. Help
So I
somebody.
love that concept.
Be of value. Yep. Be of value. You look like you want to say something.
Yeah, I was just gonna go back to, George and you talk about all the time is declutter your life, even what you're doing with work. If you're stepping foot in like 5 different sources, be clear on who you're serving.
Right.
So you have that clarity, or else your schedule is clutter and you don't have clarity on what you need to do.
Right.
And clients right now, they don't have the clarity. So if you have it, you're able to make them be clear about
Absolutely. Yep.
on the market. They don't have to stay in a recession either.
Yeah, spot on. It's, look, clarity of the process allows you to, when I say clarity of the process, what you have to do, not necessarily how you have to do it, the skill set, and you lean into that, you can be confident in that because you know that the process works. It's not a question of whether the process works, it does. It's a question of whether you're going to work the what? Process. Yeah. Any other observations? Okay, all right. Okay, great job on being here. Look at the size of this crowd. Look at this. It's like, I don't know, we must be charging too little for the seats. We need to charge a little bit more,
I would have
Brenda.
paid more.
Would you? Good.
It's great.
All right. Well, great job on being here, and I mean that sincerely. You're doing the right thing, and I may have been preaching to the choir to many of you, but the fact is, it's a great message. It's a great reminder. And gang, there isn't any reason you can't go out and have an amazing final 60 days, 45 days, whatever's left in the year, and knock it out of the park, and set yourself up for some great success in that first quarter of 2024. All right. Get on up and let's do this. Closing affirmations.